Hello everyone, my name is Ash. Some of you may know that I'm moving to a new apartment soon, tomorrow actually, as I make this video, and because I'm not able to traditionally stream the latest breakdown of the new Andromeda briefing, well, here's the down and dirty version. So if I mess up at any point in this video, I apologize in advance. So if you haven't watched the original Andromeda briefing for yourself, I highly suggest watching it ahead of time to get the full experience. Also, the link is in the description if you want to check it out. So Kalajath is our Solarian pilot who goes through the different rooms and specifications of both the Tempest and the Nomad. He states that he has been part of the crew since the early prototype days and claims that the Tempest is easily the fastest ship of its class, capable of doing 13 light years per day. Something that made me curious about this, about even mentioning it, is the possibility of tracking days. For instance, if missions were able to be unlocked because of how many in-game days you were taking up. I mentioned this in light of the previously annoying Dragon Age Inquisition mechanic, where you had to spend hours to tens of hours in real life, not in-game, in real life, in order to do certain war table missions. And hopefully Andromeda doesn't implement a system identical to that. It seems that the ship is also focused on light and stealthy maneuverability, plus there's seemingly no main gun equipped to it as well. So any movement within the Tempest seems to be outrun or outhide. The Tempest is noticeably smaller than the Normandy and designed for the Pathfinder team. We'll be able to walk through the entire ship in one go. So paying attention to the walkways, you can see there are ladders that you can take downstairs. So there are 2 floors worth in the Normandy, in the Tempest. The research room is equipped with 3 monitors, which will be used for gathering intel and resources from the planets that we explore, and implementing them into upgrades for weapons, armor, and the Nomad. It seems synced with the tech lab as well for any findings and discoveries of technological or biological use. The meeting room seems to be where we'll have our briefings and exists what seems to be above the research room. This is where we can have our video conferences with the Nexus. And previously, we've had the devs say that we'll have something similar to hanging up on the Council during the original trilogy. In engineering, we have the Drive Core, which looks similar to the Normandy's Tantalus Drive Core. Both share stealth capabilities. The Tempest Armory also holds a set of Avengers and pistols. The medbay seems to be your standard set. There are only 2 beds featured here, with the skeleton diagram of a human showcase in the distance, and a few medical supplies on the right-hand side. Or liquor. It might just be liquor. In the cargo bay with the Nomad. The cargo bay gives the same vibe as every single Pimp My Ride interface we've seen in games like Grand Theft Auto and Need for Speed, so I imagine we'll be able to customize the Nomad seamlessly in this area, or at least see a preview of everything before we actually implement the upgrades. The galley is very small and makes me think that we'll have a very, very small crew with us going throughout the game. There were only 4 beds in the crew quarters alongside the Pathfinder quarters, which makes it 5. Considering the size of the ship, I'm curious not only how big the crew is and how many times they'll dock in the Nexus, but also how many non-crew we'll actually work with that are companions. The Pathfinder's quarters is nice, with the television or monitor displaying what seems to be a massive planet and orbital rings around it on the side of the bed. A little living room with a couch and a whole bunch of alcohol to the side. A desk as well. The middle of the platform seems to have an interface that we can peruse as well. While it looks like we'll have our own balcony and others may hear things from below, it seems that there's a glass surrounding the Pathfinder quarters blocking it off. And of course, I only bring this up due to the curious privacy in our own quarters. On the bridge, Callow mentions that the nav system is synced with the Pathfinder, so as we know, Sam is our friendly neighborhood AI that helps us manage the ship, so the connection with it may be the sync that is described.
Once we verify ground conditions with our scanners, the Tempest will enter the atmosphere, touch down, and the team will head out in the Nomad for a closer look.
The following is basically a car commercial about the Nomad. With twin hydrogen-oxygen things and element 0 core, independent suspension for each wheel. But he also mentions that there's an interchangeable 4 or 6 wheel drive, So perhaps the Nomad will be less wild than the Mako in Mass Effect 1 that basically made us roll everywhere. We will still have a rear fuel injection boost and a helium-3 micro thruster to make us move vertical as well as horizontal. One point mentioned in Kylo's script was the modularity of the design, which reveals different component specs that can be upgraded. So what we can upgrade seems to be the following. The thrusters, where it says, upgrade the boost containers to provide more boost fluid. The shield blasts. When the Nomad has lost its shield in an attempt to preserve integrity, the shield power cells will discharge, causing an area of effect shockwave that will send nearby enemies flying. The life support, which will provide more hazard resistances. Now, thinking on this, that it's a component that you can actually upgrade where it will provide more hazard resistances, I'm curious whether our Nomad will actually be okay with most of the environments that we're going to go to, or if it's in certain cases where even if you're in the Nomad, it's actually not fit to be on that world. For instance, if we have to go to a lava world, or we have to go to something with immense freezing, then possibly we'll actually have to upgrade the life support. In any case, radar, which highlights the enemies of the world, which could also apply to if it can track enemies, it may be able to track resources on its own or different places nearby. And also, there are paint jobs for stealth as well. We'll also have deployable mining drones that can also grab the valuable resources we scan on different planets. And that's the long and short of it. 7 minutes. I'll be back here with more VODs from my Mass Effect 1 playthrough that I'm doing on Twitch, as well as more trailer breakdowns as they come, whether it be the actual videos that'll be released or the Andromeda briefings. Like and comment if you like, or let me know if you don't in the comment section below. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and yeah, I hope to see you very soon, because my new apartment's gonna have a studio, yeah! In any case, I'll see you next time!